we go back to Raw 2005. It's one of my favorite promos, one of the most hilarious promos, but also one of the best, from Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, the Showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania, all the nicknames, he has them all. This promo in 2005, the Who's Your Daddy Montreal promo, was one of my favorite moments in wrestling for many different reasons. So first off, let's kind of get some of the backstory going into this. Now this promo happening in 2005 was in the middle of a feud between Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and the immortal, the legendary Hulk Hogan. Now, for the first time in a very long time, Shawn Michaels turned heel, which he hadn't done since his heyday, his big run before he retired due to injuries. Now, during this feud with Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels was reportedly kind of not happy about it, how things were going, and especially when it came time to their eventual match at SummerSlam. Apparently, Hulk didn't want to do business with Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels very famously oversells, meaning very much embellishes a lot of Hulk's moves during that match. But really, that's not the main point of this promo, the main thing I took away from it. This Who's Your Daddy Montreal promo was 8 years after the infamous Montreal Screw Job. Now to gloss over the infamous Montreal Screw Job because it's been talked about so many times, and if you want to know more about that, there's a gazillion different articles, videos, whatever, discussing the screw job. But just for this episode's sake, we'll kind of gloss over the key details of the Montreal Screw Job. It's in the middle of a contract dispute and a booking decision going into 1997, the Survivor Series, which sees Bret Hart get screwed out of his championship. Bret Hart, the Canadian hero, gets screwed out of his championship in Montreal. So after this, Bret Hart, he goes to WCW, where ultimately his career gets prematurely ended by Goldberg. Also, it sees Shawn Michaels be a huge jerk to the Canadian flag, put Bret Hart in the sharpshooter, which is Bret Hart's notable move, claim he didn't know anything about that, only to later claim that, yeah, he did know. It also sees Vince McMahon, who looks very nervous in this picture, make the ultimate decision to put his company before the loyalty and the thought, respect, I guess, of his workers, which then sees Vince McMahon catapult into becoming the character Vince McMahon, which would feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So like I said, that's the Montreal Screw Job in a nutshell. Who's right, who's wrong, doesn't matter. If you want to know more about it, go look at it somewhere else. Maybe I'll talk about it here one day, maybe not, because everybody else talks about it. The point is, it sets up this 2005 promo on Raw with Shawn Michaels. And it comes out loudest boos I had ever heard at that time for somebody. Crazy loud. He starts cutting promos, cutting a promo right off the bat as soon as he comes down by saying those lines, "Who's your daddy, Montreal?" Once again, booed. He goes into a hilarious rendition of "Oh Canada," where he definitely changes the words and talks about kicking Hulk Hogan in the face. Hilarious. But the point about this is what really got me, the point of this video and what really got me about that promo was Shawn Michaels persistently talking about Bret Hart. I had been a fan since 2001, 2002. I didn't know who Bret Hart was until this night. So a place going that crazy for Bret Hart, who's Bret Hart? I didn't know. Shawn Michaels says the words, if he says something to the extent of, if he's any kind of a man, he should come face me face to face. Bret Hart's music hits. Boom. The place loses it. Huge pop. It's going crazy. Me, never seen this guy before. I lose my mind. What? And it goes on, and his music's playing, and the video, and everybody's losing it, and then all of a sudden, it starts to die down a little bit. The volume of the place, the air starts to come back. And then you see Shawn Michaels laughing. He just pulled one over on the fans. Now, there's more that goes on in that promo, and there's many different reasons why it's a great promo, what he's doing, talking about Hulk Hogan, what he does throughout the whole thing. My point and why this is one of my favorite moments in wrestling is because it led me to being a huge Bret Hart fan. If it wasn't for Shawn Michaels, who at the time I was a huge fan, he was probably my first favorite wrestler, him and Sting. If Shawn Michaels wouldn't have cut that promo, I would have never probably gotten into Bret Hart as much as I did. Maybe I would have later, but I don't know. After that, I started going back, DVDs, watching matches, all that stuff, and I became a huge fan of the Hitman. So why is that one of my favorite moments in wrestling? Well, it's not because Shawn Michaels' attire throughout the promo. I mean, really, that color combo? But that reaction, that promo was so good. It was so heel. He goes back to a place where, controversy happens, and he handled it so well while being hilarious, being serious, and progressing the storyline with him and Hogan even further. It's also great because, once again, it showed how popular the Hitman was, and it brought fans like me who had never, ever watched him wrestle, and it made me actually believe in the Hitman. I'm more so of a Hitman fan now than I am a Shawn Michaels, actually. And it all started with this Shawn Michaels promo, weirdly enough. Thanks for watching this episode of Wrestling Pops. If you're really the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, you'll like this video and all others on our page. And also go follow the Deep Culture Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, anything that we have. Go follow it. I hope to see you again next week. Once again, thank you.